So recently I posted a video showing the effects that a focal length has on your framing, and those focal lengths in the examples that I showed were for a full frame 35mm sensor. And by some questions that I got in my comments, I realized I failed to consider those who are using a crop sensor or a micro four thirds camera. So going through those clips again, I want to show you the equivalent focal length for your camera to a full frame sensor. If you have a crop sensor, to know the equivalent of a full frame focal length, you need to multiply the focal length of the lens by the crop. So for example, a 35mm lens times a 1.5 crop is going to be a 52.5mm. The equivalent is going to be a 50mm lens. And then to figure out what lens you need to get to be the equivalent of a 35mm, you need to divide the focal length by your crop. So in this case, if you desire a 50mm focal length, you need to take 50 divided by your crop sensor. And that's going to give you something around 33.3. So a 35mm, again, is going to be the equivalent of the 50mm. More information on photography and videography, be sure to follow.